The floodgates have opened and Vanquish Soul steps into the metagame. Don't pay the 30% of you that not snatch the ever-living crap. Just make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. Welcome to Vanquish Soul wrap-up out of the weekend here. And before we start things off here, this is a video from Italian Nationals here that you actually see the venue flooding. Now, I don't have the original source for the video, but I know it's kicked around all over social media. It actually got dropped in our Discord. So there's multiple other videos, but I wanted to showcase that one just so you could have a little bit of an idea of why the broadcast was, cut short. I don't know if it was like rain issues or a pipe burst. I believe it was, I think it was because of rain in the area. So before somebody's like, oh man, like Konami, turn off a broadcast, can't show us, Vanquish Soul getting second place. It's literally because of what you just saw. So before, I just wanted to point that out. Also, obligatory, oh my gosh, floodgate deck opened up the waters. Yeah. I know what this community wants to hear. So that's kind of what we originally were expecting to see here. So, kicking off here. We have second place out of Italian Nationals here. And guess what? It's Vanquish Soul. Oh my gosh, Marin's Cashier ended up winning Italy National. Remember, this was under old list. So the fact that this deck was able to push through the entirety of old format here, I think is amazing. Now, this is what I was expecting the deck to kind of be played as a TC Boo control deck. I've seen a lot of people try and, heavy combo variations of this deck. I don't think it's a good idea. I understand what people are trying to do by trying to put in Parallel Exceed and, all these little extra little good stuff extensions that you get into the deck. No, the deck is a mid-range control deck. That's what we learned about the deck out of the OCG. You are an absolute monster at, Borger interactions to draw cards. Getting 2 draws, on your turn during your opponent's turn, and then, toggling it back onto yours, that's a lot of hand traps that you're going to be able to access to be able to detour your opponent. And then, like I said, TC Boo is an amazing card right now. Also, the rest of the deck, side deck down here, you have Grave of the Super Ancient Organisms down here as well. You have a lot of other very good assets down here that make this deck a very scary competitor in the metagame. Also, once again, when you round out your hand traps, and honestly, the ability to kind of toggle into a free Zeus here and there, don't underestimate how good Zeus is. Whether or not, heading on into the new format here, I guarantee you Zeus is going to be one of the best cards in the entire metagame. So you're going to have to be aware of that. But I like the choices that this list was actually presenting to the community. Now, that's not all. Out of Slovenia Nationals here. Wait, that's 2 Nationals out of the weekend here that we saw this deck do. Yeah, it is. This build is actually a little bit more different than what we've seen. This build is actually taking advantage of Small World. Well, does that sound familiar to you guys? Decks that have multiple attributes that can actually bridge different gaps and have abilities to toggle into different pathways to recruit for anything in their deck. I think MathMech tried doing that, but now we have a control deck that actually can do that. Down here, once again, you see that we are having access to stack them up Zeus, laugh at the opponent, but you're going to notice 2 very interesting things about this list. Number 1, we're playing Rise Heart in the deck, which means if our opponent tries some Shangri-Era shenanigans, well, let me tell you here. You can go ahead and drop an Rise Heart onto the field. Now your opponent's going to look at you and go, really? It's a 1 tech card extra piece into the deck that doesn't really hurt a lot of the offensibility that, the deck had already had. And then we are actually siding Triple Ghost Reaper and Winter Cherry. So this pulls another page out of the OCG here where, since this is a mid-range control deck, you actually do get access to Winter Cherries. Now, obviously, Scarecrow isn't going to matter really too much today. But you can see, Gigantic Sprite. You have Laplace in here. X-Purely Nor. Technically a Rise Heart as well. And then the Scarecrow. And now you'll be able to adjust and handle everything else that you need to. That's the thing that makes this deck so scary, is its adaptability. And Yu-Gi-Oh! Players are like, but you need Max C in order to make the deck good. I mean, they just cut Kaiser Varius down to 1 for this build. Didn't really, need to follow it up anymore. So those are your more crazy metagames. This version also showed up. This was out of a case tournament. This pushes the break of what I would consider the control variation to more of a attempted combo variant here. You still are packing in small worlds at this point to make sure that you can toggle and, get through the advantage lines that you want to go through. Obviously, we're still playing those Fenrir's that you saw from the previous build here. But this build is attempting to kind of patch some of the issues. They're trying to play a Regulus here for a little bit more offensive actions. They're trying to... obviously, like, the hand trap ratio is very high because it's what you need to do with this deck. But I feel like cutting out the imperms, cutting out the TC boost, you're just trying to play a generation advantage engine without, like, the other parts that make it what it is. It's also kind of cute in here because you having 2 level 4s that you can stack together to make the Merrymaker, to make the Sargass, to go toggle for the Regulus, does give you a very big boss monster. I will give them credit for the idea behind that. That's kind of cute. But my general complaint about that is I feel like, I don't know, maybe it's just the control player in me that just wants to stick to this deck to, what I feel like it should be. But it is kind of cool to see that, players are heading down, different variations of the deck. It's just, unfortunately, at this point in time, I think that we've seen more out of the control variant than what I would deem like the combo variant. But Robbie, it's got enough hand traps. It's still control. Yes and no. It's still going to be the same pile of cards at the end of the day. So it's kind of what we're seeing out of Vanquish Soul on, the wrap up. That's not to say that there isn't way more out here. I mean, we've seen multiple lists kind of come out of Kong's cards out of the weekend here as well. If you haven't followed the tournament results from over there, I highly recommend that you do so. That way, you can see how 80-person event went here. We are heading on into today. Actually marks the day of the new list, so you're going to be seeing players out here testing out more and more variations of ideas. But don't worry. So you're watching this video and you're like, so that's some good data for Vanquish Soul. Well, I have bad news for you if you didn't pick up your Vanquish Soul cards just yet. As of this morning, Vanquish Soul cards are disappearing across the market. This is why I always say, if you want something, Friday night is going to be about the time that you want to pick things up. Now, people are actually upsetty spaghetti. I mean, it's a control deck. It did its thing. Now it's purely 2.0 all over again. You're at $110 right now for Rosins. Dr. Madloves, you got one cheap version for $68, and then it goes up to $83. Good luck. Heavy Borgers are, about to be 80 plus for these collector's rares. Vanquish Souls coming in at $73. But Robbie, I don't want the deck in high rarity. Okay, well, let's get down here to the low rarity section. Rosins are now $30 a piece. Wow! Okay, Dr. Madloves, 22s a piece. Heavy Borgers, $22 a piece. $24 actually, hitting on up. Luckily for us, Pantheras and Kaiser Variuses are still, kind of cheap. But even like when you're pushing into this set, let's go take a look at what else is going on in Wild Survivors here. Oh, look, Oviraptors, $90. Fossil Dig, 70s. Wow! TC Boos are down to $67. Probably should focus on getting those right now before those actually go up. Can't, Control Deck kind of wants to see them. Actually, a lot of decks want to see those. Stake Your Souls are actually $84 now. So congratulations. You've officially seen everything go up. Wow. Xeno also following up. Boxes are $67. Animadords, 53s. It's almost insanely worth it to buy this product. Oh my gosh. Wow. $36 for that. The table. Tenkies, 42s. Ground Xenos, $38. That's disgusting. And Stake Your Souls are heading on up to, they're going to be $24 here soon. All of your Vanquish Soul stuff, very, very, very expensive at this point. So, I'm not surprised. I'm not. Yu-Gi-Oh! Players will trash talk something for weeks, or, the lead-up point through an event, and then all of a sudden, things are very expensive. Strange. Well, that's your wrap up for, well, Vanquish Soul for the weekend. What do you guys think? Please leave a comment down below, tell me what you guys think, and good luck picking the stuff up. I hope the buyouts don't actually hold for this deck. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.